And being able to say something like, I can love me better than you can, the more I said it, the more it was reinforced as truth.
It was really based on as an answer from Bruno Mars song.
No.
Oi, Brasil! Olha eu aqui de novo com mais uma entrevista maravilhosa pra vocês. E dessa vez eu vou falar com a minha amiga sagitariana. Se fosse minha amiga mesmo, não tava aqui me tremendo. Uma das cantoras que eu mais admiro. Nasceu no dia 23 de novembro. É ela, acabou de ganhar um Grammy. Miley Cyrus. Então agora eu vou botar meu bom fone. Olha aqui como é que eu tô. Gente, assim, amiga da Beyoncé, entendeu? Então, Deus me ajude. E vamos nessa. Oh my God. I'm super nervous because I'm a huge fan, so please let's be easygoing with each other.
Everything
My,
is no worries.
I just heard the album. There's like really a soundtrack for a movie. So what was the concept when you was creating this?
Kind of that in its own way of that, I wanted to create something that was holistic where fashion and film and music all got to live in one, harmonious environment, which for now is gonna be on the record, in the theaters, streaming as one piece, and I never wanted there to be any divide between, each of these elements, it's like you kind of need a little bit of everything to be working in that harmony. So we have so much emotional diversity. It's a really fun ride for me to perform and for I think, anyone that gets to go and check it out to be a part of too.
I just saw this clip of this interview that they did with Zayn, where you said that flowers motivated you to expand your world in music. So how was the effect that the song has in your life, in your career?
I think the flowers effect was the same for kind of the fans and the listeners as it was actually for me personally. It's this song that, it radiates confidence and, self-love and assurance, and so by having that song as kind of this mantra that I'm projecting out into the world, it's that the world kinda just became a mirror and showed it back to me, and the more that you say something, the more that you believe it. And being able to say something like, "I can love me better than you can," the more I said it, the more it was reinforced as truth.
It was really based as an answer from Bruno Mars song.
No. No. This was a song that I wrote with, Michael Pollock, who is a huge pillar in this record, Something Beautiful, and Greg Allday, who has also written multiple songs on this album, and we were sitting at a studio here in LA that's very iconic, it's called Sunset Sound, and everyone from Janis Joplin and The Doors, they've all recorded.
Whoa.
So we're sitting at this piano that actually is filled with magic. I mean, it's you can feel it when you kind of stand around it. You can tell there's something special because so many artists have created using this, this instrument. And as we were standing around the piano, it all just kind of started dropping in. And sometimes songs are hard to write, like you can't always find the words. And this one felt really easy for all of us, as it felt like it. We all had different pieces of this puzzle that we could each place, and I brought something that, the "I can love me better," that mantra, originally,
Hmm.
"I can't love me better than you can," and I went home and
Oh,
actually it would've made the whole song emotionally completely different. Well,
yes.
I didn't think that was something that I wanted to put out into the world, and so I actually changed it once I went back home and recut it.
Did you feel that same feeling when you recorded any of the songs in this new album?
Yeah, we recorded in a studio that, again, equally kind of as iconic called The Village, which, Fleetwood Mac, Steely Dan, Barbara Streisand, which is my favorite, has recorded it. Yeah, exactly. Major
Yeah.
has recorded there. You see Celine Dion plaques on the wall. And so anyone that's recorded in this space has kind of left some sort of like creative magic in that place. And so I felt that way working on the entire album just because of the history of the room that we were recording in.
Which was the track that was the hardest to create? I mean, emotionally and technically.
Writing a verse for Naomi Campbell was a lot of fun, but
I was gonna ask about that.
I wanted her to just be gagged, and I knew that, she might have something to say about anything, and she had no notes. So that was, like,
Oh,
the highlight of my songwriting career, that she had nothing to say. She just went in, and I couldn't believe it because she was recording, somewhere else. She was in New York, I was in LA, and when someone told me, like, Naomi sent the verse, she actually did it, I couldn't believe that it was done. Like, she didn't change anything. She copied and pasted the lyrics, but I also wasn't careless writing for her. I thought about every syllable
oh.
backwards, forwards. I wanted if she sang it upside down, it would still be major.
So bar is really high, right?
Yeah, I've never written a verse about, like, Botticelli before, but I was like, "I've gotta make sure it's sickening for Naomi." And, I really wanted to think about her grace, when I was writing it. And, there's something that I think she has that's so special in regards to her relationship to music, because when you think about the runway and you think about someone on a catwalk, it's each step is based on the beat of that song that's being played in that show. And so she is, such a musician, like, in her own way because of her, ability to time, and, like, she's got such an amazing, melodic, like, sense. She really hit every beat perfectly because that's how she walks.
Oh, she walks like a cat, really, right?
Walks.
She
Walks.
walks. She
Yeah,
walks.
exactly. You gotta add, like, W's and R's and all kinds of things in the walk.
Yes. Also, you had this movie coming out. I just saw the poster for the exhibition here in Brazil, and I want to know where this idea came from and what's the concept behind it. Because I didn't see any people saying anything during the movie. It's like only the soundtrack and scenes that we're gonna see.
So I didn't want it to be a musical where you, like, stop and sing your feelings or sing the scenario that's happening. I wanted it to be something that was unique to me because for me, a movie, there's characters, and I have never wanted to play a character. I've always wanted to be authentic to myself. And that was actually a very conscious choice that we made when we were writing the movie. Because even though there wasn't dialogue, we still needed to write how do you get from one scene to another. You're still on a ride. And I never wanted there to be a characterization because what's so special about my music and my career is that it is always, uh, you know, honorable to who I am, and I'm never hiding
Hmm.
behind that persona. And so we kind of thought the dialogue would take you out of it, and create story that wasn't really necessarily adding anything. And if something doesn't bring it to the table, usually I just throw it away. It has to be meaningful or purposeful, and if it's not, then it's, not useful.
And you won a Grammy, and I want to know,
Say it
did that
again.
change? You won a Grammy, girl.
Exactly.
Uh, uh, did that had any effect on the process of creation of this album? It changed your mind in some way to produce your
Well,
music from now there on?
so I have a necklace. I don't have it on today, but I have a necklace called the Trust Me I'm Right necklace because it's very blingy. And I always say, "You don't get this necklace by being wrong, okay?" So now that I've got my Grammy, it's the "Trust Me, I'm Right" Grammy. I use it in a lot of scenarios where I'm writing and someone, like, doesn't trust me. I'm like, "Well, when I was writing Flowers that, won record of the year, I" and then usually people are like, you're right, that is a good idea." So there's something that it does where it kinda, like, validates, you for yourself, but it also really, people just really respect the Grammys in such a way that I've always felt can be a little, off-putting because then I think that you can, be chasing that all the time, and then you're not actually making it
Mhm.
for the right reasons. You're making it so you end up getting a trophy that says you did the best, which I don't really believe you can be the best at music because it's all a matter of how it resonates to individuals, but it definitely helps as, like, "Trust me, I'm right. You don't get this for being wrong."
And why do you think it took so long? Because you have like a lot of albums out.
I think that, for women that push boundaries, they can scare people sometimes and they don't know exactly how to feel about them. And so I think because I've pushed so hard and so forward and, sexuality and being opinionated and has always been such a pillar within who I am as a person and professionally, that I think sometimes it's a little intimidating. But I think that now everyone's kind of caught up to where I'm at, just, kind of culturally, there's been this shift of like really honoring and celebrating strong women instead of kind of being afraid of them or telling them to put it away or be quiet.
So in 2022, you came to Brazil and you performed here. Do you have anything that you remember the most from here? How is it relationship with your Brazilian fans?
The Brazilian fans, they are the best. That's something that I'll always remembered from every trip that I've been to Brazil. There's just so much passion, I mean, about everything. So when they're passionate
Yes.
music, it's really amazing to see, that there's kind of no divide. Even in regards to our language, like they're singing along to every single word and just ultimately
Yes.
in it. And I've also noticed in Brazil that a lot of my fans do like Miley drag where they show up dressed as me, which I really
Yes, that's
appreciate.
such Brazilian.
Yeah, they like show up in like honestly sometimes better outfits than they're like they have more crystals than I do, So the Brazilian fans, they're passionate and they do it right.
Yeah, and you also performed with Anitta here.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
And we wore matching Gucci, which was like very cute.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not always, I don't always match with different girls because I feel like my style and I just never want to dress like somebody else. I have a very true sense of what I'm doing. But Anita's
You're
not.
Sagittarius, right?
Yeah.
Me
That,
too.
what's your birthday?
Yeah. November 27th.
Oh, you're close. I'm 23rd.
I
Yeah.
see, I saw that.
So like we're
So
one
that's
of
a
one.
Sagittarius personality.
Yeah, we're doing what we're gonna do, and so Anita is just obviously not afraid of being sexy and putting on something really tight, and she is one of the only girls that I've ever actually matched with because she was so down to kinda like her and I just have a very similar taste and I think like a stage persona, so that was really incredible, and seeing the fans react to her, it was so passionate. It was really,
And
really
oh, yes, I was there. It was amazing.
everyone loves Anita,
Awesome.
including my mom. My mom is obsessed with her.
Oh, really?
My mom is like, "She's just so hot, like, I wanna wear that, she's just sexy." I'm scared because
Okay.
mom and her were, like Anita was giving my mom fashion advice, and I'm like, "My mom's gonna leave here in a thong." They were like soul sisters.
Awesome. To wrap this up, I have to ask you, I saw that you said that your team's like thinking about your touring in some ways that don't affect your health.
Mm.
How is that gonna took place? Do you feel like you're gonna do a world tour at some point, or just like one concert here, one concert there? What do you
That's
think about this new era?
That's how I like to do it, is doing things that feel meaningful, and I think when things are unique or one of one, they actually hold more value, and so, yeah, doing shows that are more intimate, smaller audiences, and then also this film is a way that I've been able to kinda do my own international tour in some way, but it's just in this theater.
Ooh.
People get to watch it every day, they can watch it at home, they feel like they're a part of a live performance, but it keeps me feeling good.
Miley, thank you so much for your time. It was
Thank you.
lovely talking to you. I'm a huge fan. I hope we can see each other in Brazil, maybe. So thank you again. Bye bye.
Bye, see ya.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ai, meu Deus, foi. Jesus amado, olha, me tremendo do começo ao fim. Acho que eu nunca gaguejei tanto. Gaguejei mais que o David Brasil, meu Deus do céu. Mas foi isso, acabei de bater o papo com o Miley. Tô assim, me sentindo íntimo, que ela perguntou o dia que é o meu aniversário, gente. Será que ela vai me mandar uma mensagem? Enfim, é isso. Muito obrigado, Miley, pela entrevista. Thank you, Miley. Love you. Obrigado a todos vocês que assistiram isso. Agora eu vou aqui tentar tomar uma água. Tô com a boca seca. Assina um canal, comenta, compartilha. Tá no TikTok, compartilha. Tá no Instagram, compartilha. Onde você tiver, minha filha, compartilha esse negócio. Porque essa aqui eu fiquei nervoso, viu? Quando é uma estrela assim muito grande, eu sempre fico nervoso. Então é isso. Vou lá me acalmar. Beijo, até a próxima.
Let's pretend it's not the end of the world.